Hi everyone, and welcome to the Kim K. I can't even say my name. The Kim K. Curry podcast. I'm Kim Curry, and I hope you're all having a fabulous day today. Really excited to chat with the lovely Haylee Stutley, who's a gorgeous, gorgeous girl, is fantastic on social media. I've been absolutely fascinated. We've been friends for a few years, and I've been really fascinating to watch her life grow and change over the last few years. She's uniquely Haylee. There's no one else like Haylee in the world. She expresses her heart. What you see is what you get. Her heart is on her sleeve. She has the biggest heart I've ever seen in anyone.
Oh, darling.
So I'm really excited to chat with Haylee. And explore all the behind the scenes of Haylee. So how are you doing? Hi, Haylee.
Oh my God, darling, that is the most amazing intro ever. You're amazing. I love you.
Oh, and I love you. We can have a little bit of a love fest today, hey?
Oh, we do. Oh, love. It's all about love. Love.
Love.
So before you've got to add a little bit of crazy in there too, honey.
I know, absolutely. So before we explore a little bit of what you're doing now, you're really fascinating because I know your life. You actually grew up on a farm. Is that right?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm a farm girl. You know what? You can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. Let me tell you. Yeah, definitely. Born and bred. My parents are still down there on the farm. You know what farmers are like. They're workaholics. They're the most amazing people ever. So yeah, born and bred. We'll get back to the country one day.
Yep, really right. Down to earth. I've been lucky if I've actually met your parents.
I know. It's a small world.
It is a very small world. So I love your parents' farm. It's gorgeous. But I think some people who don't know you so well would be really surprised to know that you grew up on a farm, and because there's this particular, people think there's a certain image with people that are born in the country, and you don't necessarily fit that typical image of what that should be. Absolutely. I think they'd be really surprised.
But really quietly, behind the scenes, I always wear my flanny, and I've got my Akubra and I've got my whip, so.
Why not? And it's one of the things that I really love about your social, because you're prolific on social media. And what I love more than anything is that you're always your authentic self. So you're really full of energy. You're bubbly, always wanting to help people, but you're not afraid to share your vulnerable side. And when things haven't gone well and when you're finding things tough, you're really able to share that. Has that always been the case to you, or have you grown into that?
Not at all, Kim. I was the kind of person that I always really, really worried about what people thought about me, their perception of me and all of that kind of stuff, and never said how I felt in case it was going to, cause a little bit of an uproar, or somebody was not going to like me because of it, that kind of thing. So no, I was polar opposite. So it's only been, the last couple of years that I've sort of just, I'm sick of wearing that mask of, I'm happy, but I'm quiet. I'm like, hell no, God, I'm me. If you don't like me, I think there's a button called unfollow on social media and all that kind of stuff.
So how did you make that switch? Because I know, because I've been fortunate enough to know you a few years, I really noticed that change through social media. And the more you kind of expressed yourself as you are, the more kind of passion started to come through. Was it just a decision that you made that, you know what, it's time for the mask, or was it a progression, or what really kind of led to deciding, you know what, I am who I am, and sharing that? Because it's a really hard thing for people to do.
Oh, yeah. Very, very hard. You know what? I think it's a lot of little things that happened over the years. I had some bad experiences with friends that were mocking me on social media and things like that. And I think I've done a little bit of personal development and growth just before that. And I tell you, if I hadn't have done that, then what those people sort of did to me I would have gone, holy shit, that's it, I'm done, I'm finished. I'm like, getting back in my little shed and my little happy place and hiding away from everything. But I'd done some personal development, and I really think that was part of my growth as well. And it was obviously brought to me, as shit as it was brought to me for me to step into what I have been learning, step into who I am, and progress from that, and really start building a shield in a way of, the way people, when it comes to the negative side, when the way people may perceive me, I have got my hand on my head and my hand on my heart saying, what you're saying about me is not going to affect my mind, and it's not going to affect my heart, and I just give everything back to you with love, and it's that growth. But it's a series. It's a series of things. It's definitely a series of things of personal development, of experiences coming in, experiences going out. I think that from the moment you are born, you are born to be something, but you've just got to go through those growing phases to get to who this divine person is that you were born to be.
And that's what I really love about watching you, is being able to, because you are a little bit crazy.
Love it.
Little bit crazy. But it's you, it's who you are. And that's what really attracts people to you, because your whole social media, you're a really successful network marketer. It's like, I've been really fortunate to kind of be able to sit on the sidelines and watch as you've gone from taking those masks off, taking those first steps of expressing yourself, ignoring the negativity and going for it every way. And it's like your life's exploded in every avenue. How does that feel for you?
Sometimes there are feelings that you can't describe, Kim, and this is the kind of feeling that I think, you wake up in the morning. I wake up in the morning now, and I open my eyes and I swear I smile from my soul out.
Beautiful.
Oh my God. I don't know. And I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very, very emotional person as well. And it is that. It is just, I'm stumbling for words, because sometimes I get to a stage where I can't explain it. It's a feeling I have. It's this indescribable feeling of change, of soul settling harmony. I don't know what it, and I'm actually, I think there's still a lot more, and a lot more for me to do, a lot more places for me to go, a lot more people for me to meet. And I tell you, the other one is the people that you surround yourself with. The people, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I have met some of the most phenomenal people in the world doing this. It is you put up your negativity. And I'm not getting, it's funny, I'm not actually getting a lot of that anymore. I'm getting more of what I'm putting out. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
I love that. So you find that probably, would it be fair to say, is the more you kind of take off your mask and just be your crazy self and not trying to do what you think people want, is the less negativity is coming into your life? It's just not there, or you just don't see it, or a bit of both?
That's what I've found. I don't know whether, it could be there, but maybe I've got like my little blinkers on now. Awesome. Maybe I've got my I don't do negative shit anymore. I just don't. Awesome. Come to me. It's like I was saying, done and finished. I just don't, it doesn't get to me. And if there maybe is a negative circumstance, I'll find the positive side of it. If that's a weird kind of thing to say.
No, not at all.
But yeah, it is. Honestly, the more you put out in every kind of respect, it just comes back to you tenfold, whatever it is. And definitely, like I'm saying, you surround yourself with those kind of people. And you also, I think as well, like for me, I find it a little bit difficult. You know, I'm getting messages all the time of people saying, you know, Haylee, thank you so much for what you do because you make me want to be me. And I think that's where I am. I think that maybe is part of my purpose, is just helping others, let them be their true, authentic self. And if I've come out of my little shell from this terrified person who was, and I was, even in school, I don't have a great memory, but high school, you know, I just hid away. I hid away, or I put on a face to make other people happy. And I think my experience is explaining that to people and things like that. And as weird as it sounds, I tell you, the connections that you can make, you know, social media, I love social media. Yeah, you got the negativity about it, but I don't give a shit about the negativity side. I think positive. I am positive. I have met some of my soul sisters and misters like this. And it's amazing. My home is open. It's so funny. I've got so many people around the world that when it's travel time, I'm going to see all my soul sisters and misters.
Fantastic. I love that. So do you have some, for those people that are kind of would like the idea of being able to express and be their authentic self and blocking out the negativity, are there some tools or practices that you use in your daily life or you used to use to be able because you look and feel really strong in who you are now? But like with most things and most learnings, I'm sure that hasn't always been the case. You would have had to kind of start somewhere. So what sort of tools or did you use to make sure you stayed in that real strong, empowered Haylee that we see now?
It was definitely, you know what, a couple of years ago, a friend of mine gave me The Secret, the book The Secret. And I think it's just started from there, you know, that whole abundant mindset, that whole mindset of being who you are, being authentic, being true to yourself, and living with who you are and loving who you are. Like but it's a process. And it's been, you know, it's been years. So I'm trying to think, like I started when I first met you, Kim, I think it was about 3.5, nearly 4 years ago. Just constantly learning, constantly getting myself, you know, and I think Rhonda Byrne is probably one of my favorite authors at the moment, and just going back on her books. I'm reading The Power at the moment. I've read The Hero, The Secret, The Power, The Hero. I've got something about a teenager one now, so I can try and link in with my sons. But it is that growth. So for me, it has just been, and I'm a very simple kind of person. There are a lot of motivational tools out there. I've actually also got a YouTube channel. I love going through in the morning and finding a motivational, and there's millions of them on YouTube. Finding a motivational video, you know, even if it's 5 minutes, and saving it to my YouTube channel so I can go back. Go back. I'm listening to it. And I think you'll always, and like reading books, you go back or you listen to an audio. I'm a big one on audio because I'm not great on reading. A big one on audio. Repeating it. So there's some great things that I'm just trying to think which ones. My brain's not fabulous this morning. Join some children, you know, who don't.
I know you have busy with 3 boys. So do you have kind of like a bit of a morning ritual that you kind of like, you always tend, like you're saying, you always do you read every day or have a bit of thing, or you really just wing it? Kind of go with the emotion.
I'm bloody sane. Shit. Oh, no, I try. It's funny. I think if my little man would sleep, I try to usually wake up. So when I had my other 2 boys, I'd try and wake up 15 minutes to a half an hour earlier than what they would normally wake up and do my morning gratitudes. That is a big one for me lately that I am noticing really. It's funny. Sometimes you do things a little bit and then you're going, oh, God, that's not working. That's not working. Consistency is the key. God, it may take a week for you to notice a difference. It may take a month. It may take a year. Consistency is the key. So mine is gratitudes in the morning, like thank you for the air that is going into my lungs. Thank you for this roof over my head. Like simple, really simple. That's the kind of person I am. Thank you for 3 beautiful, healthy children. Thank you for a husband that is just my angel.
Yeah.
Little things like that. That's a big one for me. Definitely a big one for me.
Awesome. I love that. And I love that the consistency is the key, because that was the really big wake up call for me, because I used to wait for the big breakthrough or the big epiphany that was suddenly going to come in and transform my life. And I wasted years sitting around waiting for a breakthrough that never happened. So I think that's a complete and utter myth. I think having you can have a breakthrough in the moment or a light bulb moment, but then unless you start taking consistent action with what that understanding is, it actually means nothing. So I love that. Yeah, I love that consistent action, and it's the daily habits that support and allow you to change your life and transform your life. It's not
And habits is a big one. I'm glad you brought that one up. And forming that habit. Like I had a lot of, I still got a lot of bad habits, and I was a massive fluffer. Like I used to wonder why I couldn't get stuff done. And I'd be like, oh, okay, right, I got to do. Oh, hang on, and I get to the end of the day going, oh my God, I haven't done anything. I feel really, really unorganized. So, a new thing now is writing everything down. What am I doing for today? So I can tick them off as I go. I do not go to the second one until the first one is done. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm like Superwoman. Woohoo!
Well, you are like Superwoman, because I know you've got 3 beautiful boys who I've had the pleasure to meet. They have the biggest, gorgeous, most generous hearts I've ever seen. Must take after their mum.
No, you know what? It's in their genes. I think the daddy is the most amazing person. We have the most amazing. We're just surrounded by the most amazing family and friends. So they soak it all.
But you created that, that really wasn't, as I said, because I've been lucky to know you for 3 to 4 years, and I know a little while ago life felt really tough for you, know, and you could say, so you've made the decision and decided to take action to change that. You could have stayed, because you removed yourself from social, as much as you love social media now. There was a time you actually removed yourself from social media, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I have suffered terribly with depression since I was 17.
Yeah.
And it really got hold of me for quite a few years. I did a lot of things I wasn't proud of, because I thought, I just hid away, and then, I started drinking and started, using drugs and doing that whole thing of, this is going to make me forget of how shit I feel every day.
Yeah.
No. It just, it might make you feel all right for a while, but you dive. You really, really do dive. And then it made my depression worse. And it was, I literally woke up one day and went, what the are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? Like, what are these people you are hanging around with? Like, what? Why? But I tell you now, it was the best learning curve in my life.
Awesome.
And, it's taken me a while. It's taken me a while to get out of it. And then, when I met you, I was starting to get better, which was great. And I really do think it is, like, I just needed to work on myself. Depression is a terrible disease, and I'm controlling it really well now. And it's in a lot of things. It's that whole mind, body, spirit for me. With nutrition, like I say, mind, body, spirit. What I'm putting in my mouth, what's coming out of my mouth. A lot of things. And then unfortunately, when I fell pregnant with my last little man, my depression hit really bad. I suffered terribly with post and pre-natal depression. And I had to, you know what? And I felt bad because I didn't want to. I had a lot of people that I was coaching and helping and things like that. But I can't be that person that if I'm dying on the inside, I can't give out a fake me.
Yes.
So I did. I had to step back. I had to step back. But I think it also gave people, it made me realize who my friends were. Yeah. That was a big one.
Yeah.
And it made me better for it. It made me realize that I don't need to be putting on this happy mask and like, woo, life's great when I'm feeling shit and I am dying on the inside.
Yeah.
It allows other people to feel the same. Like it allows other people to realize that not every day you are going to feel like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Not every day you are going to feel like you want to conquer the world. And it is okay to feel shit.
Yeah. And have your shit days. And it's like you say, it's, you know, I've suffered from depression myself. So for me, it's not like you can say I control it. I would never say that I've conquered depression and it's gone and it's never going to be ever again. But what I do have now is I have those daily habits, those rituals, those things that I need, you know, the nutrition to look after yourself, the exercise. I do the listening to the reading empowering books.
Yeah.
Listening to podcasts. So I know that I still have times or days when I tend to I watch my life. There's days where sometimes I lead myself, I just overwork myself too much, and then I can feel that little heaviness.
It is. And have you noticed that like now you can sort of maybe even know what your triggers are?
Yes.
Or you're getting into that state and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm going to have an average kind of day, so I'm just going to pull back. And be okay with it rather than necessarily pushing through and then making yourself feel worse.
And that's it, and lead it on. So, so it's exactly, I kind of know my triggers. And that's not to say I don't still, you know, there are times where it kind of takes me by surprise, but I don't give myself a hard time for feeling that way anymore. I just kind of go, oh, look at what I've, you know, I say, look what I've allowed myself to do to myself. Look how I've allowed this to happen. What did I do? Where did I miss those little light bulb moments where I should have gone, hey, hello, it's time to look at yourself. And I've ignored, and I know, and I can pin back and go, oh yeah, I can see I chose to ignore that and push through anyway.
And sometimes you can be your own worst enemy. You really can be your own worst enemy. And it's just working through it. And every day, like I'm one that was like, I had to know what the future holds and all of that. If I didn't know what I was doing, then that would make me worry even more. I'm getting into the thing. Of course, I work for the future and things like that, but I don't live in the future now. I live now. I have things that I work for the future, but I am living in this moment because I might not be here tomorrow. And let's be honest. After the last couple of years, I've had a lot of people that I've known that, gone. Not their time. So,
and it can be, you know, it is that point where you never know when it's going to be your last day. You know, as much as we like to think we're in control, we're actually we're in control of nothing. And that real living in the moment and being happy in the moment. And it really sounds to me like you have that structure in your life now, those really great personal daily habits that you use tools for your own personal empowerment. And that is what I've really noticed in you. But what I love more than anything else is that you share those learnings, that heart, you share that with the world. No, for other people that may have experienced similar things to you, and it gives them I don't like to use word hope, but it gives them an understanding that where they are now doesn't have to be where they have to stay. There's an opportunity to change and grow and make the life that you actually really want to live. Because you, as successful as you are, the actual outside trappings, you're still in the same home. Mm-hmm. You still live in the same thing. Everything else, it's not that it's the internal change within yourself that's allowed to transform the life and everything it is around you. It's how you view and picture everything is what I notice the most with you. And that big heart to help you.
You've hit the nail on the head there. Like, you know, for me, you can change your car, you can change your clothes, you can change your partner, you can change where you live. You need to change here. Yeah. For me, this is my change. This is the biggest gift that has been given out of anything material ever. Yeah. Ever. Like, you cannot put a price on changing who you are for the better. And you cannot put a price on the change that you make to yourself that helps somebody else take that step for themselves. To give somebody hope, to give somebody that light at the end of the tunnel, to give somebody, I'm a big person for, you know what, not that I say I don't give a shit about financial stuff, because you need that. You really do need that. At the end of the day, you need to be financially stable. But for me, mine is, how can I give more for people to be able to receive more, you know, and that is the whole, you know, personal development and all of that kind of stuff. But mine is, how can I help? Yeah. How can I help somebody else? I've taken it away from me. How can I make somebody else's life better?
Awesome. That's fantastic. And that really shows in your social media. It really does, because you just have this huge, big heart and desire to help others. It's beautiful to see, and I love that. So before we finish up, this kind of, so if I'd really like to share, so because there's a lot of people out there who would really love to be their authentic self, and they might be feeling a bit stuck or want to start making a change within themselves. What's one kind of small little handy tip that you can offer them to start their journey?
Learn to love yourself for who you are. Like, there's loving yourself, and then there is just about being in love with yourself. Find your passion and your purpose and fall in love with that over and over and over. Every day. What is it that, you know, if you wake up, what makes you happy? What makes you smile? Do that and do it more, and fall in love with doing that more every day.
Beautiful. I love that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Haylee. So for those that want to listen and hear more about Haylee, because she shares a lot of videos on her social media that really reach your heart and make an impact. I'll put links on the podcast and the video here so you can find her. Always look up the hashtag #CryptoMama, and you'll be able to find all things Haylee. Yeah, awesome. You'll be able to find all things Haylee. I wanted to thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us today. I've been really dying to talk to you, because I know we can talk like this for days and hours on end. It's an absolute pleasure, and I'm really I'm excited for what you've been doing. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today.
You know what, my darling, I am going to actually, I'm going to say the massivest thank you to you, and for all that you do. People need to also follow you, my darling. And like I say, just thank you for who you are. And same kind of thing, Kim, you know, where I have seen your growth, you inspire me. You inspire me, and this is what it's all about, surrounding yourself with people that inspire you and make you want to do more and be more and live more and love more. So thank you for being authentically you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Haylee, and thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.